You know, in today's class, I am going to start, you know, telling you, or in today's class, my intention is to equip you with the knowledge of what is a democracy. The topic in today's class is democracy. What is democracy? If you look at the word democracy, you know, demo and cracy. Demo stands for people, cracy means a system of governance. Understood? It means government of the people. And if you look at the definition of democracy by Abraham Lincoln, according to him, democracy is of the people, for the people, by the people. It means a government of the people, a government for the people, a government by the people. This is the definition given by a famous person called Abraham Lincoln. I think you know a lot about Abraham Lincoln. Do you know who was Abraham Lincoln? He was a president of the United States of America. Understood? You know American Civil War? He played an important role in American Civil War. Understood? And that fellow coined or gave the definition for democracy. And I hope you have understood what is a democracy. So, the day he gave the definition of democracy, the people all over the world got a concept of a government that would be made by the people, that would be for the benefit of the people, and that would be formed by the people. A government that you make for yourself, for you, understood? The government that you vote to power, understood? The government that you vote to power means a government that you make yourself. Do you get it? That government will be for you, understood? And that will be the government of you, of the people. You get it? So, this is how the definition of democracy is given. And now, if you look at your country, India, we have chosen this form of government. We got independence on 15th August 1947. On that day, we decided that we would have a government that would be a democracy. And the Constitution of India was written under the chairmanship of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. And according to the Constitution of India, India became a democratic, socialist republic, secular republic. Understood? Democratic, socialist, secular republic. Understood? According to the Constitution of India. When was the Constitution of India adopted? The Constitution of India was adopted on 26 January 1950. And we celebrate 26 January as Republic Day. Because on that very day, India was declared world's largest democracy. India became a republic, a government of the people. We participated in general election. to form a government that is democratic government. Democratic government is a government of the people, for the people, by the people. The government that benefits the people. The government that is formed with the intention of doing good to the people, to keep the people happy, to satisfy the needs and interest of the people, to bring about all-round development in the life. The government that does all-round development, that fulfills the wishes and expectations of the people, that government that fulfills the wishes and expectations of its citizens is called a democratic government, because a democratic government is formed by the people. How people participate in a general election and they form the government to themselves. How? They vote the government to them. Understood? You elect your own representative. Like if it is a state government, we live in West Bengal. So what do? We participate in the state legislative, understood? State legislative assembly election, right? And what do? We vote for the ruler of the state. Who is the ruler of the state? Who is the leader of the majority party in the state legislative assembly? The chief minister. We form the state government under the leadership of a chief minister. There are 2 parties or 3 parties, 4 parties. The parties that form the government in the state is the ruling party in the state, and chief minister is the leader of the ruling party in the state. Understood? Under the leadership of the chief minister, the state is run. Similarly, if you look at the central government, now what is going on? Lok Sabha election is going on. What will happen in this election? We will form the government of India, and the government of India, understood, will be formed under the leadership of the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister will be the leader of the majority party in the parliament. The majority party, what is the majority party? The party that wins the maximum seat in the Lok Sabha elections that is going on. The party that came out victorious, that got majority votes in the Lok Sabha elections, will be able to form the government at the center. And the government that will be formed at the center, understood, will be doing good to the people of India. And the government that will be formed at the center will also be a democratic government, because each and every Indian participated in the election. How did they participate? They vote the government to come. Understood? They voted for their chosen candidates. Understood? Many candidates were fielded by many different political parties, and the representative of the political parties, understood, those who got chosen, those who won the elections, understood, will be the representatives of the people of those constituencies from where they got elected. Understood? Do you get it? Like Prime Minister, understood, he stood, understood, or he was fielded by a political party, and he won from his constituencies. How did he win? He won because the people of that particular constituencies voted for him, and he got elected. Then he will go to the parliament, and if his political party, if his party that he belongs to forms the government at the center, he will be the leader of the majority party in the parliament and will be the prime minister of. Understood? This is how the democratic government functions. And if you tell me how can I know a democratic government? A government is a democratic government. I must say a democratic government has three branches, three pillars, mainly three pillars. One is executive, another is judiciary, another is legislature. Understood? And these days we call press to be the fourth pillar of a democratic government. Understood? So what happened? These days when the democratic government functions, when the democratic government is functioning in a state, what happens? If the representative, if our representatives, if you live in a municipality, your representative is the municipality council, the person that you vote for. 7 number ward, 8 number ward, 10 number ward, 17 number, 18 number ward. What councillor is your primary representative? Then MLA, member of legislative assembly, is your second what? Representative. He represents you. Represents you means he will talk about the problems that you face at every step of your life, in your life, in your constituency. And if it is a ward councillor, if you have problems in your ward, that problems will be solved by your ward councillors. You will talk about the problems of 17 number ward that you belong to, 18 number ward that you belong to. The roads are not being maintained and the roads are waiting to be constructed. He will take up the problems, the issues, local issues with the chairman of the municipality. If he is a MLA, member of the legislative assembly, if he is your representative, if you have voted for him, he will be your representative. He will take up the issues of your assembly and he will take up the problems with the chief minister in the legislative assembly. He will say, this is the problems my legislative assembly is facing. Then the legislative assembly will put an end to the problems. Isn't it? This is how the democratic government functions. Similarly, if you belong to a Lok Sabha constituency, understood? The person that you have elected, understood, through your votes, will be talking about your problems of your Lok Sabha constituency. He will raise them in the parliament. He will say, this is my Lok Sabha constituency, Navadvip or Krishnanagar. He will take up the issues. He will say, these are the problems my Lok Sabha constituency is facing, and those problems will be taken up in the parliament and will be solved. And in the process of this, if some problems are not solved, those problems will be taken up by the judiciary. That person, if an MLA says that my problems are not being solved, so I have to move the court. So he can feel free to go to the court. He will say, these are the problems I am facing. I am a member of legislative assembly, I am a member of parliament, and the parliament is not solving these problems. The judiciary will take up these issues. Judiciary will solve these problems. Judiciary will say, okay, no problem, I am going to talk to the government of India. Understood? Then they will send a letter. The court will write. Now you have to answer why these things are not being done. Though is a member of parliament, though is a member of legislative council, if he belongs to a state. Understood? Then he will solve all the problems. All your problems got solved only with the assistance of the judiciary. Understood? So legislative, you have understood how legislative functions, how judiciary functions. Legislative, and then there is another organ of the government. What is that? Executive. The whatever laws got passed by the parliament is sent to the executive. Who is executive? The IAS officer, the DMs. Understood? What will they do? District magistrate or head of the police, IPS officers. They will, if a law is implemented, suppose the students are being punished or beaten up black and blue in the schools, and the state government has banned caning by the teachers. The state government said, it's a crime to beat up the students. You get it? And if anybody violating, if any teacher violating this law passed by the state assembly or the parliament, will be punished. Who will carry out the order? The order will be circulated through the executives. Who? The DMs. They will send a note to the SDOs. SDOs will be sending the note to the local police stations. This is the order of the state government. You carry out this order. If any teacher is found guilty of punishing the students, he will be sacked. Understood? So the orders passed by the parliament or state assemblies are circulated through the executives, and executives implement them. Suppose for social welfare schemes, if the state governments want the women to get 1,000 rupees, 2,000 rupees per month, understood? Or a bicycle, who will carry out? The state government executive will be circulated this, and all the schools will be intimated about this, and they will give bicycles free of cost. How? This is how the executive, judiciary and legislative functions. Who are the legislative? Who are the members of the legislative councils or MPs? MLAs means member of the legislative assembly. MPs, member of parliament. They are our representatives. We vote for them. They got elected, they will do good to us. Do you get it? Like we vote a councillor to a power. He is a member of the local municipality. He works on behalf of us. He talks on behalf of us. He represents us. He solves our problems. Did you get it? Have I been able to make your doubts clear? Have I been able to educate you about how the democracy works? Was it a very good class? If you have liked my video, please don't forget to share with those you love and with your friends and the relatives who you love, and I'm sure you must do it. Thank you so much for your patience.